Today I am going to teach you the second part of radioactivity. In this part, let us see the important points: average life or mean life. Average life or mean life of a radioactive sample, that is represented by the term tau. So what is the formula for this? Tau, average life. Average life of a radioactive sample, that is tau, is equal to the reciprocal of the decay constant. The reciprocal of decay constant. So this is equal to what we can say 1 upon lambda 0.693 upon t half. This is equal to we can say 1.44 t half. It is the most important relation. So if half-life of the radioactive sample is more, its average life is more. That is, they are directly proportional. And if you see the relation between the tau and lambda, they are inversely proportional. Already we know what is the definition for the lambda. The definition for the lambda is the reciprocal of the time in which the number of nuclei disintegrate from its initial value to 1 by e times the initial value. Then how can you define the average life? Average life is nothing but the time. It is nothing but the time at which the number of nuclei disintegrate from n0 to n0 upon e. This is a very important bit to do the problems in the shortcut way. This is a very important. So in the time tau, the number of nuclei disintegrate from n0 to n0 upon e. So here the time taken t is equal to tau. Similarly, after the time interval tau, what is the number of nuclei left remaining? If anyone asks, this is n0 by e multiplied with 1 by e. So this will be equal to n0 upon e square. So this half-life relation is very important. And if you see this in terms of the graph, if you take in terms of the graph, it is the number of nuclei and it is the time. If you say this is the initial number of nuclei, so the nature of the graph already known to us. It is decreases exponentially. So at a time n0 upon e, at a time t is equal to tau, this is equal to 1 upon lambda. The number of nuclei is n0 upon e. Very important this is. The graph is very important, the point is very important to do some of the problems in the shortcut. So tau is nothing but the time taken in which the number of nuclei falls from n0 to n0 upon e. This is the very important model we need to know in the case of radioactivity. Okay, ma? Now let us see the parallel decay. Very important concept. One time a question asked from this in the NEET. What is parallel decay? Suppose if X is a radioactive element. If X is a radioactive element, due to one process, X become A, and due to the another process, it becomes B. So here X is a radioactive element. In one process, X becomes A. In the other process, X becomes B. That means this X is disintegrating simultaneously in two processes. Maybe the transition can be taken place in three processes, A, B, C, like that. Here I am taking the X is disintegrating simultaneously in two processes. So this process it is having the decay constant lambda 1, and it is having the half-life for T1 and the average life in the first process is tau 1. In the same way, if I take the decay constant for the second process is lambda 2, and the half-life of this process is T2, and the average life of the process is tau 2. Then first point. Suppose if a radioactive element disintegrated more than one process simultaneously, that process we call as a parallel decay process. So in the case of the parallel decay process, the first point is the equivalent or effective. The effective value of the decay constant in this process is given by lambda 1 plus lambda 2. If I take a 2 process, if I take a 3 process, you can add a plus lambda 3. If you take a n process, you can add up with lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 up to so on lambda n. That is the first point. Second point, we know the relation between the T half-life and decay constant. So T half is equal to 0.693 by lambda. So from this, lambda is equal to 0.693 by T half. So what is the half-life of this process? That is the second point. That is T half. T half is equal to, that is the effective half-life of this process is equal to, formula is T1 T2 upon T1 plus T2. T1 plus T2. Now, third point. If they ask you to find out the average life, already we know, here we can say lambda is directly proportional to 1 by T half. If you want to find out the average life of this sample, the formula tau is equal to tau 1 tau 2 upon tau 1 plus tau 2. Why I have to write it is T half. T half is directly proportional to tau. And suppose if they ask a question, how much time it will take to decay the number of nuclei to half of its value. Earlier formula, known formula, that is the number of nuclei present is equal to n0 upon 2 power n. Here n is equal to the time upon T half. N is equal to T upon T half, where T half is the half-life of the effective half-life of the parallel decay. Effective half-life of this parallel decay. This is the formula. This is the most important concept. During the examination, I think the calculation only the problem, but the process everybody knows. In the parallel decay, simultaneously a nucleus has to decay into two, more than one process, like in this process it may emit alpha rays, in this process it emit maybe the beta rays. It doesn't matter which rays that are releasing. So in the case of the parallel decay, first one is the effective value of lambda, half life of the given sample, average life, and if the time taken is n times the half life, in that case the number of nuclei that is present is equal to n naught upon 2 power n, where n is equal to time upon t half of the radioactive sample during the parallel decay. This is the most important formula. The last concept in the radioactivity, that is radioactive equilibrium. So what is meant by the radioactive equilibrium? Suppose if you take a nuclei, the number of nuclei that is present is n1 and it has a decay constant of lambda 1. As it is having the radioactive nature, this will disintegrate to B, and the number of nuclei of B is n2 and it has a decay constant of lambda 2. So if it is also having the radioactive nature, it will be converted to C. So this is called as a radioactive series. So in the case of radioactive series, at equilibrium condition, what we can say is the rate of disintegration of A is equal to the rate of disintegration of B. Then this series is said to be at equilibrium condition. So the rate of disintegration of A is equal to the rate of disintegration of B. In other words, also we can say the rate of production of B is equal to the rate of disintegration of B. Both are same only. The rate of disintegration of A is equal to the rate of disintegration of B. In other words, the rate of production of B is equal to the rate of disintegration of A. That means you can express both in terms of B or else in terms of A and B. We know very well the rate of disintegration formula is what? Lambda into n. So for this it is lambda 1 n1. This is equal to the rate of disintegration of B formula is what? That is lambda 2 n2. So what the relation? It is lambda is directly proportional to n. Or else if you want to express in terms of half-life, we know that lambda is inversely proportional to half-life. So I can write this as n1 upon t1 is equal to n2 upon t2. So this is the most important point while doing a problem. So in the case of radioactive equilibrium, the rate of disintegration of A is equal to rate of disintegration of B, or else in other words we can say the rate of production of B is equal to the rate of disintegration of B, so that lambda 1 n1 is equal to lambda 2 n2, or else n1 upon t1 is equal to n2 upon t2, where t1 and t2 are the half-lives in this process. This is the half-life of A, and this T2. This T2 is equal to half-life of B. So these are the basic points we covered in the radioactivity. Now let us start with the numericals. Let us see the first problem. A sample of radioactive material has a mass small m. Small m is the mass of a radioactive sample, and its decay constant. And its decay constant is given as lambda. Molecular weight is capital M. So everybody knows very well what is the meaning for the molecular weight. From the molecular weight, what the information we can know. Let's see first that. Suppose if you take the mass of a substance is equal to molecular weight, this substance will contains Avogadro number of atoms, that is 6.023 into 10 power 823. So if you take the oxygen, 32 grams is the molecular weight of oxygen. So in 32 grams of oxygen, Avogadro number of molecules are present. And if you take the nitrogen, 28 grams of nitrogen consist of Avogadro number of molecules. Suppose if anyone take 8 grams of oxygen, how many number of molecules are present? 32 grams of oxygen contains Avogadro number, but we are calculating the number of molecules in 8 grams. So the total number of molecules in the 80 grams is equal to how much? N0 upon 4, because the molecular weight reduced to 4 times, so that the number of molecules also reduced to 4 times. So in the same way, here the total molecular weight of the given radioactive sample is capital M. So if you take capital M is the mass of the radioactive sample, it contains Avogadro number of atoms. Now, unit mass of the radioactive sample, if you consider, the total number of molecules present in unit mass of the radioactive sample is capital M. Now, in the question he gave mass. Mass is small m. So the number of molecules. So you can take the initial number of molecules or initial number of atoms that are present in mass small m is equal to mass of the given gas, mass of the given material multiplied with the number of atoms that are present in unit mass. So this is about the N0 value, where N0 is the initial number of atoms that are present in the case of mass small m. Now what the question they asked? They ask you to find out the initial activity. So this is the formula. If you want to find out the initial activity, R0 is the initial activity, that is lambda into N0. Lambda is what? A decay constant. It is not depending on the time. It is depending on the nature of the substance that is known to us. So this is equal to lambda into what is N0? N0 is initial number of nuclei that is present in the given sample. So this is lambda N0. N0 is small m into N upon A by capital M. So the answer is the third option. Lambda into M into Na upon capital M. This is the activity of the given radioactive sample. Now let us see the second problem. N atoms of a radioactive element emits N alpha particles. See here, n alpha particles per second. Here the key point is n alpha particles are emitting per second. What is the definition for the activity? Rate of disintegration. That activity is equal to the number of nuclei that is disintegrating per second. So here what they gave, n alpha particles per second. Emits n alpha particle per second means indirectly whatever this n alpha particles per second is given, that is nothing but the activity. This is equal to lambda multiplied with n. Here what is n? Initial number of the number of nuclei is given as n. So this is equal to, in the question they ask you to find out the half-life. So in the four options lambda is absent. So we have to convert in terms of half-life. So that is 0.693 upon t half multiplied with n. So this implies take this. So what you want to get? T half is equal to half-life of the given radioactive sample 0.693 into capital N upon small n. That is the answer to this particular question. So third option be the answer to this particular question. Simple question. This is the third question. Very important model. How to solve the problem in the quickest time, that let us see. The activity of a radioactive sample is measured as n counts per minute at a time t equal to 0. See here, n naught counts per minute at a time t equal to 0. So at a time t equal to 0 is given. So at a time t equal to 0 means initial activity has been given. And n naught upon e counts per minute. N naught upon e, see, whenever n naught upon e, that is 1 by e times the initial activity. N naught upon e means 1 by e times the initial activity. Why I am specifying this? That we will see. Counts per minute at a time t equal to 5 minutes. Now what the question they asked? The time in minutes at which the activity reduces to half of its value. Activity reduces to half of its value. That means they ask you to find out that t half. This problem we can solve in the two ways. Now let's see the process what we have to adapt. Now the formula that is known to us. What the formula that is known to us, ma? Time t is equal to 1 upon lambda into log 2 log r naught by r base e. It is the formula that is known to us. Sir, what is 1 by lambda? 1 by lambda is also called as mean life, average life. But here the question that asked is what is the half-life? So how to do this? This implies t is equal to 1 upon lambda. Lambda in terms of half-life. Here we have seen. This is the formula. So what is the formula for that? 1 upon 0.693. How to write 0.693? That is log 2 base c. So this I can take it as 0.693 log 2 base c. So t half. log 2 base c t half into log r naught initial activity, and now the activity becomes what? 1 by e times the initial activity. So 1 by e times the initial activity. 1 by e times the initial activity base c. This implies t is equal to t half upon log 2 base c. How to write this one? This is equal to r naught get cancel out. So it will be log e base c. You know very well, log e base c is equal to how much? 1. So from this, t half is equal to t into log 2 base c. So time, in how much time it will take? 5 minutes. So 5, they asked the question in terms of minutes only. So 5 into log 2 base c. Log 2 base c. So this is the, so what is the answer here? This is second option is the answer to this particular question. Correct? So this is the one method to solve the problem. It is the one method to solve the problem. Now let's see how to do the same problem in the shortcut way. Why I specified a double star to this n naught upon e. If you look back the table which I gave earlier in the first video, there you can observe that if a number of nuclei or activity, mass, whatever it may be, if number of initial nuclei is r naught is the initial activity, if the activity reduces to r naught upon e, you know very well the time taken for this is mean life. The time taken for this is mean life. In the mean life time, the activity reduces from r naught to 1 by e times r naught. This is known to us. So if you know this time tau, what the relation between the tau and half-life? The relation half-life of the given activity sample is equal to tau upon 0.693. This is tau upon 0.693 is how much? Log 2 base c. From this, what you can say? Tau is given as t upon log 2 base c. So t half is equal to, I did something wrong. I wrote the formula wrong. See here, the time, what they gave, 1 by e times the initial number of activity, it will take 5 minutes. So indirectly they gave tau is equal to, t is equal to 5 minutes. 5 minutes. What they asked? They asked you to find out the t half. T half and tau are related how? The t half is equal to, what you got? Tau multiplied with log 2 base c. Simple. See, tau is equal to how much? T is equal to how much? 5. Simple, one step. See here, if you want to go through this process, so many logarithmic formulas and all we need to know. But if you remember, the activity becomes 1 by e times the initial activity in the time which is equal to average life. And if you know the relation, average life is equal to t half upon log 2 base c. From that, they ask you to find out the half-life. Half-life is equal to tau multiplied with log 2 base c. So 5 into log 2 base c. Simple. See how many steps we are using to get the answer in the second method. In the first method, this is the way you have to do the problem. In the second method, this is the way you have to problem. So that only I ask you to memorize several number of times. The table which I gave in the first video is very important. The point see here, simple point. Activity becomes 1 by 8 times initial activity in the time which is equal to average life. And what they asked, the initial the activity to reduce it to half of its value. That means they ask you to find out indirectly the half-life. So the half-life of the radioactive sample, this is the formula we use. Tau is equal to T half upon log 2 base C. Usually the student used to by heart like a 0.693 upon lambda. That 0.693 in terms of log base E also we have to remember. 0.693 is equal to log 2 base E. That is also very important because all the times they won't give they won't express in terms of 0.693. Sometimes they will express in terms of base E also. So both the formulas you need to by heart. Like half-life of the radioactive sample. Half-life of the radioactive sample equal to 0.693 upon lambda, or else that 0.693 can be replaced by log 2 base E upon lambda. So T half is equal to log 2 base E upon lambda, or else 0.693 upon lambda. Both the formulas are very important. This is all of about model 1, 2, 3. In the next video, we will see some more problems. Some more, only the numerical problems we will see.